Hello everybody, welcome to the part 24 of the Arduboy dev stream. So I have fixed a number of bugs regarding the change of the screen. Yeah, I've done that outside of the stream because that usually it's not that fun to try to find bugs. I mean, for you to watch me finding bugs, that may take some times and trial and error, and then after trying to find the best way to fix it. But as usual, I will show you all the fix I've done and all the change I've done, and I will show you step by step all the progress I've done. I think I end up with a quite nice result, so it's pretty good news. Let's start. So, yep, and I will start by here. All right. So last time we were at this this commit, and as you can see, have done like eight more commit. So we will go through all of them. The first one I fixed was a simple bug, was not really related to the change of screen, but I wanted to fix it anyway. So let me show you. The bug I wanted to fix was this one. So yeah, I changed the setting of my camera also, of my webcam. So if in that situation, if I crawl here and I go inside, then I cannot fall, right? Because basically when the main character is falling, there is no floor under, then it just stand up, and then by standing up it I mean it goes to the fall state, but the fall state is stand up. So when it goes stand up, it enter into the collision above the head, and the collision will push him out of the collision to the right. So I've changed that, and that's pretty easy to fix. Basically, what I've done is, if I'm falling while I was scrolling, then I just move the Y position, teleport the Y position of the main characters down. I mean, so that the top of the head is now at the same place as where the hat was when it was crawling. So it's kind of pushing down. But I cannot do that all the time, because for example here I am crawling, and if I'm falling while I'm crawling, I still want to have the main characters like stand up for where he is. So basically there's sometimes I just move it down, and sometimes I don't touch the Y coordinate. So let's see. To do that, I've done okay, that's yeah. So to do that, first I've added a new I've changed that basically. No, that's the previous one, sorry. That's why I'm confused. Okay, it's 81 I'm looking for. Okay, so 81. To do that, yes, I first added a constant value just to remove one magical variable. When you start to have one value that is used at different place in your code, and this value has the same meaning, then it's always a good idea to put a variable on it. So it's the visual height difference between stand and crawl, which is 5 pixels, right? So I change it here because basically that was what we were doing. If we were crawling, we use this Y plus 5, and this is the bug fix actually. So basically I have done it into the init form. So init form, if I was crawling, if my current state is crawling and I need to fall, and if there is a ceiling above my head, so then that's what I'm saying, I teleport the main characters 5 pixels below. right? Otherwise, if there is no ceiling, even if I'm calling those ceiling above the head, I don't do it. And here I also use the same variable, right? And I have also in the same commit, I also have changed just a little bit this. Our famous function is there any collision at. You will see I change a lot this function. I change it and change it and change it. That was a crucial point in the code. Also, if I'm crawling, then my second pixel sensor, the right pixel, I use +8, +9 instead of +6. Just a minute, please. Sorry. So, sorry for the interruption. Yeah, I also did that when I'm crawling. So basically this function is checking on the left of the sprite and on the right of the sprite, and if I'm crawling, I check a bit further, so I can crawl a bit longer. If you want, you can see it like that. And this one I just changed the map data to have a better testing range. All right, so let's update this and see the result. Where is my update? All right. Yeah, so update and then I rebuild. Sorry, I need to answer that. This one is not too bad. Sorry about that. All right, so let me give you the full screen. So now if I'm, yeah, and then I'm still have the bug of going through the memory, but yeah, as you can see now the main character is not going into the collision, so I can also fall while crawling from here, and you see I'm not teleported, so only for that situation, right? All right, so the next fix I've done, I don't really remember in which order I've done it, so I have to look at the code again. Okay, yeah, I change again this this function, and this change is nothing, just refactoring, and I changed that. Okay, for the later collision, yeah. Okay, I will explain you what's the problem, and I will explain you that also. Okay, so let me show you the bug now. So I have changed the data, the map, and here I added a new layer so I can go down, which is cool, but when I try to go up, it doesn't go up. Right. So there was some problem about that. Yeah. I'm sorry, my wife is really asking me something important now. Sorry, I have to take her. Just a second, please. Ouais. Si, je suis en Merci. L'invite-moi celle-là. Ok, à plus. That's one of the problem I got here. Um, so yeah, the problem is climbing a ladder when actually the ladder is outside of the screen, like I showed here. So basically what I've changed here is in that function, check ladder collision. I'm checking, that's the pixel I'm testing, and I'm checking if this is outside of the screen. So if yes, then I just check the pixels, the last 4 pixels of the screen. So even if the ladder is outside, you can still succeed to climb because you will detect the ladder above. It looks like a bit like a hack, and I do agree, but don't worry, I have changed again this function later, so I've done it differently after that. All right, and this one is what I was doing is basically if the left or the right is outside of the screen, okay, there is no collision. Otherwise, I'm doing that. But now I'm doing it a bit more. I'm checking a bit more in details. Like here, I'm just checking if the Y is outside the screen, okay, there's no collision, but then I'm checking each pixel differently. So left is on screen or right is on screen, and I'm checking if it's on screen, then I can check the pixel, and if the right is on screen, I can check the pixel, so left or right. So that means on the side, I can have one pixel with the left outside of the screen, but the right is still on the screen. Or the opposite, the right is still on the screen, and I can still detect collision. So that's a bit more detail. Again, like I said, it's not the last modification I did to this function, and will improve it. Just notice that I have struggled a lot about what to do if the pixel is outside of the screen. Should we return collision, yes or not? You will see. I will bring a new answer to that later. So anyway, let's update to that version and see how this is, if it's better. All right, so let's recompile it. So it still doesn't work because I have still more fix to do. But yeah, let's really but I mean, I think it was fixing that bug here. Before I could not go up here, so it was partially fixing it, but not from totally bottom. I should have show you a bit earlier. Yeah, I didn't properly show you the bug. Let's revert again to the previous one. Just quickly done. So the bugs I was trying to fix is this one. Okay, I go down, and now here I'm pressing the up button. You can see the hat flickering in the bottom, but the characters cannot go up because I'm not detecting a ladder. It's like I'm not in front. The main character is not in front of the ladder because the sensor pixel that we are testing are all outside of the screen. So it's like I'm trying to climb, but I cannot. So by fixing that, and then let's go back to this version, and then I recompile. Then I can go up again on the ladder. Okay, I'm here, and then I can go up. And then I can go up. Okay, so I fixed that one, and I think the other one was probably to help or transitioning here. That would help anyway. I forgot exactly what I was trying to fix. All right, the next fix I got, this one, fix the falling of the main character when crawling from one screen to the other. Okay, and for that, make the function to trigger camera transition specific to that purpose. All right, yeah, and do not count the HUD thickness and checking transition into the stop screen, still buggy, and adjust the map again. All right, so basically here the bug I'm trying to, I will fix next is when I crawl here, then the character is falling. Right, when I transition in crawl state, then the character is falling. In that change, there's actually quite a lot of change. All right, what I've done is basically I revert what I've changed, kind of revert a little bit what we did in the last stream. If you remember, last stream we renamed the get x, get y in get left, get top. So I reverted and I rename it again, get x, get y. But then I created this, this for function. I just gave them a more specific name, right? And I wanted this for function to become purely specific to the screen transitioning. Before, we had this get left, get right, get top, get bottom. That could be kind of generic function for Rick, and that other code could call it. But then I realized that the transitioning, the coordinate from transitioning is quite specific. So I don't want other code to use it. So better just rename the function and split them. All right, so I renamed this, which means in my arrow launcher, I have to put back the get x, get y to go back to revert to the previous code. In the map data, I change the data again for more testing, whatever. And then, in the rig, we had this for function. Then I just put back get x, get y, and I move them here. I moved them here because they started to be a bit long, and I could make them a bit more specific for all of them. And specifically for this one, this is the bug fix. I also, when I'm crawling on the left coordinate transitioning, I also remove 2 for the reason I wrote in the code here. There's some pixel, there's some gap in the sprite and so on. And I also add more constant value to remove more magic number, I would say. Sorry, I'm a bit thirsty. So basically the left X shift for collision of feet and the right for under feet when standing and crawling. So that's the 2, 6, and 9 magic number that you may remember from the collision at, right? So I just basically remove this magic number by giving them a name. So now that I gave them a name, I could properly use them here, right? If I'm crawling, I use the X shift, or X is the same crawling or standing, but in right, I use if I'm crawling, the right shift for when crawling, or the left shift when crawling, or the right shift when standing, sorry, if I'm not crawling, right? And then I had some tuning here, right? So basically Now in the map manager, I just call those specific function, and also for the sake of clarity of the logic of the code, I would say I just change the strict by less or equal here, so that we have the greater than or equal, etc. So it's the same kind of test. So in the thinking of your algorithm, you know that okay, now this coordinate will give me the exact coordinate when the border of the screen is really equal, is touching. It's not just the one next to it, it's the same. All right, and then you can see here another little stuff, which is the camera vertical shift. Okay, which is, if you remember, that's basically the 6 pixel in the top for the HUD. Right, and here we totally forgot to add this here. So that's why I could not climb up again. When I was going down on the ladder, I could not climb up because there was this HUD pixel shift that was not taken into consideration, right? So yes, that's it. Let's update to this. So basically this update, there's maybe a lot of change, but I just rename the function, make them specific, and then fix this little stuff. All right, so let's see. Let's reload the files and recompile. So if I'm going down, and now can I go up? Still not. Still not in that version. All right, never mind. So in that, this fix is mainly for fixing the crawling, if I will remember, if you remember. So let's try again. I will crawl, and now I don't fall down. Crawl in the other direction. All right. All right. So the crawling is fixed. The ladder bug is still here, but we will work on it. Don't worry. Okay, still not. Can still not go up. All right. Next fixed. What did I do? Fix the rendering bug in the custom Arduboy for the negative way, and tune the vertical screen transition value for Rick. Okay. Yeah, so I think that's the next fix is that, right? Okay, so if you well remember, we have our custom Arduboy rendering function, draw function, that can draw in mirror, right? Remember, and also return you the collision, if there was collision. All right, and that was this little optimization. I would say normally a shift is faster than a division. So dividing a positive number by 8 is equal. It's the same thing as shifting to 3 to the right. But here it's not working. Why? Because the y is negative here. All right. So that was a problem when I was go down on the screen, and then I tried to go up. I asked to draw the main character. So basically what you can see here, I will look, I will move very slowly, and here, okay, just the character disappear. It's like just move 1 pixel, but it disappears. So I was thinking, oh, it's not drawn. Why it's not drawn? We have a bug in the draw function, and actually, right, that's right here. So if y is negative, I cannot do that. Of course, it's not the same equivalent, because if your value is negative, there is the negative bit sign, which is totally on the left, and that got shifted, and then your negative bit sign make the number a big number instead of staying shifted, right? So here I really need a division in case y is negative, right? So, and here I've tuned some transition for the top and the bottom. So before it was 12 and here I had 2. So after I fixed the rendering, so first I said, oh, let's fix the rendering. And actually after fixing the rendering, it just fixed also the transition. It fixed the rest. I mean, that the rendering bug was the bug actually that prevented me from moving up and down. But I also changed this. I adjusted because why? Because after I thought I don't want the character to be totally invisible before switching the screen. I want the character to be, and that's why I put 2 pixels. Like if there is 2 pixels on the feet or 2 pixels on the hat, then I can start to change the screen, right? And that's the same when transitioning from left to right. I don't want the character to be totally disappearing out of the screen. I just want to have like 2 pixels still on the border to before when deciding to transition. All right, so let's update that. Let's recompile. All right, so here you see here now I'm drawn correctly. The character is drawn, and then now I transition normally. All right, so cool fix. The next fix. So this commit is mostly to fix the main character passing through the collision when falling to the puzzle screen below. All right, so I'm sure you remember that big bug. So now we started to okay, that bug, I'm falling and then I just go through the memory. I can sometimes climb up. That's quite funny. All right, yeah, I succeed to get out of the memory, of the random memory. So I try to fix that. And that's quite a big change. All right, so here I said, move the code that check if we change the puzzle screen to the animate transition function for clarity. All right, so I also did some kind of refactoring, right? All right, this one. So before this code, remember to check if we should transition. It was in the update function. I decided to move it directly inside the animate camera transition here, because I thought it was kind of, but first I think, oh, let's put that in a function to split it. I just basically wanted to keep the update quite clean. I would say, like, just update is just calling some function, and I say, oh yeah, just move that in the animate function. So I just move it here in the top of it. That doesn't change anymore anything basically. Update a little bit the comment, and that's it, right? And also, what is more important is this. I think I changed the call of the animate transition to here. So basically, I think we should either call it here or at the very bottom. Doesn't matter. But I think it should not be called in between of all the drawing state. Why? Because now, before it was not a problem because the camera was not moving, right? Camera was not moving, so the screen was always like this, and we were trying to, so calling this function, I mean, animate camera transition was doing nothing. The camera was not moving. So it's like not calling it or not calling it was not a big deal. But now that we can have transition, if we call it in the middle of this, then that means the first some logic here, like checking the collision, lethal collision, will be done before the camera move, and then the camera move, and then the rest of the collision stuff will be done with the camera move. That could be messy, right? That could bring some bugs. It's kind of risky. So I thought it's better to just call it after. We do all the logic about checking the collision, lethal collision, everything with the screen fixed, and then once the frame is done and rendered properly, then we move the camera. So we can do it after, or we can do it before. It's the same. Anyway, it's a loop. So you can just move the camera, and then when the camera is fixed, then we do all the rendering stuff, right? So it's much better to just put it either after or before, but not in the middle of everything, right? So that's the first change. All right, then the biggest change for fixing that bug was, so yeah, I move it and I call it at the end. Then I remove that function that we added. If you remember last stream, I said, oh, maybe the character is going through because maybe I don't take in consideration the transition of the camera. No, that was wrong. That's why I totally remove it. That function that we had it here, I remove it. It's no use. Why it's no use? Because here, this is a world coordinate, right? It's y plus 13. This is a world coordinate. And we call that function, is there collision in world coordinate, right? And in their collision at is already asking the x on screen, right? And that function x on screen is actually taking into consideration the camera transition. Where it is, it's here, right? Already taken the camera transition in consideration. So it was useless to remove it 2 times, right? That function is the same. And I add it or remove it 1 time here, and then I add it, remove it a 2nd time here. No. So that was not the bug, right? So yeah, I removed that function because this function becomes useless. The call here becomes useless because I'm just dealing with the world coordinate. All right, so what was the bug? What was the bug? So I have done so many changes in that. So the bug was that when the main character is falling, the camera is transitioning, but if you remember, we have a deceleration for the camera transition. So the camera goes fast at the beginning, then slow down at the end. So basically, at the very last frame, the ground is coming very slowly, and basically the ground is not drawn before when actually the rig is falling faster than the ground is going up. So basically the problem was Rick was falling and reached the bottom of the screen before the last sprite of the decor was drawn on the screen. So before we could check that there was collision, right? And why? Because if you remember, if we are checking collision outside of the screen, we say there is no collision. So again, we were struggling again and again on the same problem here. What should we do here? If it's outside of the screen, should we return false or true? Right? That's a problem. But if we return true, then you can never fall to the next screen. If we return false, then we have some issue. Okay, so I think I found a way, and I say, okay, now we need to ask the map manager if there is sprite outside of the screen, right? So that's why I've created this new function to the map manager. Is there static collision at, and I give a world coordinate x and y. And then the map manager will check into the level sprite table array, into the level if there is any specific sprite here, or if there is no sprite. And if there is sprite, then it will return yes, there is collision under. Even if it's outside the screen, even if it's not drawn, there is collision, right? And if there is not, then say no, there's no collision, so the player can fall. Right. So because I needed the wall coordinate for left and right, then I also refactor a little bit this, but it's basically the same. The wall coordinate x is here, the wall coordinate right coordinate x is here, so I just basically move that into wall coordinate function, but that's the same code, and then I just call the left on screen, right on screen by calling left and right, so that's the same, right? But then I can also give that left and right as a wall coordinate to that function. So that works much better. We finally find the real answer to what return here, right? This is that was puzzling me. We should return true or false. No, we should check the level if it's outside of the screen. So let's see that function. It's in the map manager, so obviously we just delete that function and add this new function. And in the map manager, I think it's over there, the collision. This is very simple. We just take the wall coordinate, divide by the sprite width, sprite 8. That gives us a map index xy, and we just basically check inside the level if this is something not a later, right? So less than a later, because if you remember, all ID are sorted in certain order. Then if it's not a later, yeah, there is a collision. And now I have a same question, is what happens if we ask a world coordinate which is outside of the level? All right. So this one, I don't have any issue to answer true, right? Because I don't want the player to end up into the random memory as we did. So if there is any bug somewhere or whatever, then that is asking if there is collision outside of the whole world, the whole map, the whole level, then I say yes. So you automatically have a border from everything which is outside of the level, which normally will never happen. Okay, if we have a good level design, if we edit correctly our level, this will never happen. But in case of a bug, there is something that's blocking it. So I'm quite happy to answer true here, just checking if it's outside. So basically, that means I need to add the level size x and y here to check this. So which I just did here. Right now I just put some numbers that we will change later for sure. I updated the map again. All right. And I've done some other change in the get y on screen. Okay, so doing that, I had a pretty good working solution, but still had some issue. And why? Because I realized that we had a little bug here in the get y on screen. In the get y on screen, I also forget to add the HUD, the HUD height. So adding the camera vertical shift. That's not a big deal actually. What this is doing is just, well, if I don't add it here, then I should remove it here when computing the map y, right? But basically what I wanted to have is to have the level sprite array to be aligned with the world coordinate. That means if the 0 world coordinate is the top corner of the map level, and then the 8 is the next sprite, and 16 is the next sprite, that is more logical. But before, because I forgot this here, what was the thing is the 0 was here, like 6 pixel, the 0 wall coordinate was 6 pixel above, and then yeah, the zero of the sprite was here. So there was a kind of shift, which was not a very big deal for a lot of stuff, but it was a issue for here. So um, I prefer to realign everything. I thought it was more logical to realign the world coordinate and the level. So that's why I fix it here. All right, but by fixing it here, I had also to move it from here to here. So if I let me align it so you can see the difference. So all right, so I had to change it from here to here. Before I had it here, then now I remove it here. That's only the only change I had to do so far after changing this function here. All right, fix had the improve Rikiza collision and okay, yeah, I've explained everything. Let's test this. Okay, let's recompile. So let's try to fall. And there it is. I don't fall anymore on the memory, inside the memory. All right, and I've changed some map data over there, just to do more tests, and you will see it's quite funny actually. So if I jump, it works well, and I have a small block here, so I can jump on top of it. Then if I fall, and if I walk here, I'm still on the block, right? So I can still continue to play even if the block are not visible, which is quite cool. Sorry, I want to jump. I have a little bug here that I will not fix. This one, I will probably not fix that bug because this situation should never happen in level design. So if it happens, if I want to have it in level design, I will fix that bug, but so far I won't do it. And you see, if I fall, and we can clearly see now that the main character is actually stopping before the ground is appearing. It makes like a kind of bounce actually. So that's quite funny. All right, so that was a big change and a big fix, obviously, but it was an important one. Next, what we have done, just rename one function for in the read class, just show you just for clarity. So basically, this super important function is there collision at. I just rename it. Is there any ground or ceiling collision at? Because obviously this function, and I had some comment, become very specific to testing the pixel in the line. I mean 2 pixels here and there, either under feet or on top. This function is used at both situations, like when I'm jumping or when I'm checking collision under. So it's not like just random collision on the side or whatever, it's just the one on top and bottom. So that's why I renamed this function. All right, then what do we have here? Bug fix the detection of the letter below the main character. All right, so then we had another bug that maybe you have noticed, I'm not sure. In some particular cases, like here, if I press down, the character is on the letter, which is not. That's strange. I also get that situation in other places like this one here. At the very beginning here. Also get it here. Here in between the two letters. So basically have created a bug, like the main character think is on he has a letter below him, which is not. So why is that? Well, I mean, when I implemented this function to check if there was letter below, I didn't test enough situation to detect that I actually created bug. So the thing is, on the update of the map manager, if you look at it, we just we draw the static collision, check the static collision, then we draw the ladder, then we check the ladder. So basically when we check the ladder, we have already drawn the static collision. So we may detect pixels, white pixels under the feet, and thinking that it's a ladder, where actually it's not, it's just a normal block. Right? So what I've done is I thought, yeah, maybe I can use this newly created function that is asking which sprite we are checking, which sprite is at the one position. So basically that's what I've done. I've added a function called is there later at, and I give the world coordinate of the middle one, the one in center of the main character, which is that one, x plus 4. Right, this one. And because before I was checking middle on screen, so basically it's the same, right? And before I was just looking here, 17 pixels below y, and I was just checking pixels. So now I'm just, yeah, for is above later, just asking the map manager, and this, what I've done is nothing that just, okay, there was this there static collision, I just add in one function, is there later add, and this one is basically calling the same function. So I have two functions, is there static collision, which are public, this one is private, and is there later add, and basically these two functions is calling the same get level sprite add. So now I just return directly the sprite and I check what have. So if static collision if it's less than later, and later if it's later, or later with platform was later, right? And here, because I still want to have collision outside, I just return just the normal block. Right, so doing that, it works the same. It works well. Yeah, that's the private declaration of the function. So let's update to this. And it works because okay, so yeah, let's test it. So if I'm here, now I just crouch normally, here also, here, and if I'm here, then I go down, which is good. Here, okay, here. We can test the other spot. So if I'm here also, works well. And then here I can take the later. So that way of doing it is working because I don't need a big precision for a super big precision for that. Here it works also, so I can now go under it. I don't need the same precision as for the collision. For the collision, I wanted a pixel collision. That was quite important to have a pixel collision for navigation. But for grasping a ladder, I just need to have some just need to know if there is a ladder just under it. And then I thought, okay, if this is working, then maybe we can also use it for the ladder in front, not just the ladder above. So I try that, and I think that's much simple. So that's the next one. All right, so let me align this. It doesn't work well. All right, so I've done the same for the rest here. So basically I thought, okay, we can just replace the drawing of the character and checking if there is collision with ladder, or checking pixels here by asking the sprite, right? So it's basically what I've done here is front of ladder. I ask actually two coordinate, because remember the main character is 12 pixel high, so it's more than 8. So I should test maybe because the character can be in between two sprite, so it's better to test 2. I choose this 2 position. 12 is important for when you go down, but the other one is like kind of in between, in middle of the main character. And yeah, I'm just this or that, then I'm in front of ladder. If it's under at 13, then I'm above a ladder, right? That's much simple. And I move that code from this function, separate function, I move it into the check static collision, just to create less function. Not just to create less function, but just because I don't need to call it anymore. So now during the update, I don't need to call this later separately. So I just, instead of calling 2 function, I just put inside the static collision. All right, and then I also decided to move the drawing of the letter just after for AI, because I start thinking of AI. So actually this change will help me also about the drawing order with the AI. So it's better if we don't rely on, I mean, it's not better, but it's more simple if I don't rely on the drawing of the letter to detect the letter. So and think the just checking the sprite was probably good enough. So yeah, I refactored like that. So let me show you, and that's the last change actually. All right. So I'm okay. I'm here. Can still take the ladder. I'm in front of it, and I can jump on ladder here. Still grab the ladder. All right, here. So it works the same. Yeah, so basically that means I can draw the ladder at the very last step. It's like the ladder can be completely invisible for all the checking of the collision and stuff like that, and for AI it will help. That means I could have a AI walking on the platform with the ladder in front of it. The AI won't collide with that ladder, right? So because the player don't rely on drawing the ladder to detect it. So that's easier. Just by the way, I just jump here and I collide with the sprite above, because it's the same function. You remember everything that is outside of the screen, so it works. It works for stuff under it, but it also works for if there is block above it. So that's quite cool. So yeah, now we have our game in a pretty stable situation. There is still some bug here and there that I can probably fix later, think about later, not critical. This one I said I won't fix it, but for example, one that may create issue is if the player change one screen and then change his mind again and go back to the other direction while the screen is still transitioning. So something like that, that may create some issue, like I'm not sure, but maybe the player may fall. Well, maybe not. Maybe now it's fixed. But when I tested before, I had some issues, like yes, actually no. Actually it works well. Oh, I'm surprised. So fixing the other bugs may have fixed this one. All right. Another little issue that I will address maybe later is the situation where you only have one sprite right now. So because our character is 9 pixel wide, the width is 9. So basically it can collide, and is like colliding in between. Here you can see that he's doing this. Well, while falling is not a big deal, but if you have, for example, I try a map where you had a ladder in between two walls, then the player is constantly shaking in between these two walls. That's an easy fix. It's just a matter of you remember when we checked the collision, checking the collision mask that is written by the draw function. We can just ignore 1 pixel on the side, so that if you collide just with your hat, we don't care. Well, anyways, that's just a little issue that we can address later. All right, so let me see, what time is it, how long I'm streaming. Like almost 1 hour to explain you all that. All right, but I want to continue a little bit. One thing I promised to do for 3 stream now is to fix the item, the drawing of the item. Right now all the items are drawn in world coordinate. We should draw them in on screen. So that's quite easy, we can do that. And let's see if after that we can start doing some AI. I have I've drawn our AI, which will be a kind of mummy. Just 1 frame right now, but I need to draw the walking loop and the death, and that's pretty old. The mummy only walk and die, right? You just the main character is dying if you touch it. So we'll see if we have time to integrate it. All right, so let's see about the items. It's better to probably take them one by one. I think, okay, pick up item. I don't think there is drawing. They're in the shiny star. Include left border, water stack and shine. These one are, let me check if they are, yep, draw bitmap. X. All right, so so we should translate that into screen. That's just need to call the map manager function. So Shine star. Let's see what shine star. The position shift for the shine star relative to the statuette. Okay. Relative to statuette, it's a chart. Okay, it's a relative value, so it's not a world coordinate. That's fine. So basically here it's just the X. All right. So map manager, get, how did I call that function again? I forgot. Get X on screen. And this one is get Y on screen. That's nothing more I think we should do. Just write it like this. And it should work like this. All right. Yeah, should work like this. What else we have? Just want to test it, so let's do the start where we'll do the spike after. Pickup, and we have the update. Okay, the rendering, the drawing is not done here. Oh yeah, it's here. Okay, so that's the same. This is, we should call the map manager. And that's a Y. And I should include it. I think that's pretty old. So the start rate should be fixed. Let's try it. I forgot where we put, should be in map data, I think. In the map manager, I think, yeah. Where do we add the new, here. Let's add a statuette. Just include. This is still a debug code, and that's why this is just in the middle of anything. We will change that. Don't worry. When we will have our editor. Yeah, it's statuette.h. So let's try to put it on the other screen. So more than 128. So it's like 100, 200, like 200. Okay. And height, like, yeah, around 50 is good. And we just add this also. All right, let's try this. DC2. Oh, what? Multiple definition of ST. Oh, really? I already have a statuette somewhere. Oh. ST2. All right, so let's see if we have a statuette on the other screen. Nope. And I think I got something shiny on the first screen. What was that? Oh. 200 should be here. Maybe it's here. Nope. All right, let's try to see if we did something wrong. X, Y, start X, start Y. All right, and the map manager. We have the stereo 250. That's X and Y. Huh? Yeah. Pickup item. So that's the shiny star. Item, start X, start Y. Yeah, nothing fancy. Okay, maybe it was picked up by something. Let's move it a bit higher. The level is pretty empty, so should be okay, I think. No, let's try to draw it on all screen, like 100. 60 is here. Maybe 100 is no. Okay, 80 maybe. Ah, I can see it. Okay. 40 is that height. Okay, so let's not put 200, let's put 160. Maybe I was too far. Where is my statuette? I want a statuette. Come on. Do we have something that pick up the statuette actually? Let's check the count. Ah yes, the count is 1. So the statuette is pick up. It's pick up at the beginning. I just restarted. So now it's 0. And now I pick it up. Okay, it's not visible, but I pick it up. All right, that's issue. That's really an issue about rendering and position. So let's check. That's strange. All right, so update items. Little, non-little. Throw. Where's the update items? Here. Item count. Yeah, we should go into the update. Of the state rate. Here I just draw it no matter what. Then I call this. Yeah, obviously there's a bug in that function. Let's have a look. But I draw it no matter what. So maybe we should just not draw it if it's not on screen. Or do I plan to move the item when they appear on screen or not? I forgot. Yeah, we discussed about that. Maybe we should do that. But let's check that function first in Rick. Yeah, I draw it. And if I get collision, I just pick it up. I draw it white. X on screen, Y on screen. That's strange because I don't see it. Then yeah, it's obviously outside of the screen, so. Okay, let's try to not go there. Try to avoid the statuette and see if I can see it on the second screen. Ah! Shit. Missed. Oh, no. Okay. Oh. Ah, yeah, I just pick it up. Let's... I will go through the other... I will go through the later. Right, let's go through the letters. Okay. And I guess we will see the statuette. Here I didn't pick it up. Ah! I pick it up. Why? Why? Okay, it's not here anymore. You know what? We can just temporarily disable that. I just want to see if it's drawn at the correct position. Yes, it is. All right, good news. So now we have the pickup function that is not working. Let's fix these bugs for later. Let's keep this bug for later. We can continue to fix all the drawing of all the items. Actually, I will just keep it commented. No, maybe not. I will just comment it temporarily here. Just to make sure that we draw all the item at the correct position, and after that we can fix the pickup bug. The star, shiny star, is also okay. All right. So we have item pickup. Okay, spike. Let's copy this also. So the update seems okay. We have to draw XY. Okay, let's X on screen. This one is returning char. Oh no, it's an int. Okay. On the Y, Y on screen. Okay, so X on screen, X on screen, and Y on screen. Special. Okay. Yeah, I think the spike should be okay. Let's draw some spike. Where is the map manager? Spike.h. I don't know if there is already some spike somewhere. So let's draw it, I would say down, like this, and 120. I think I should specify if it's special or not. The flag, yeah, the flag, which is in the item, I think. Mirror or not mirror. Check the map data. I think I have some. Yeah, I already have some spike defined here. So I can just so far I don't use them, I think, right? 120. Yeah, we'll just move that code for now. Or I can just, sorry. Sorry, I'm wondering what's the best. Manager items. We'll just add them like this. Where's the spike? Okay, the first three, 0. Does it work? Does it compile this? No. Okay, forgot to add the map manager in the spike. Did it compile? We'll put it on the other screen. Okay. Just add 1. Oh. Yeah, I can see the shiny spike on the right. Let's move it a little more on the right. Let's say 108, 116 maybe. All right, let's add the 3 of them. Yeah, I have a statuette here. Okay. One, two. Ah, yes, I added the 3, not the 2. My mistake. Okay, so the spikes seems to be okay. All right, spike okay. Ah, and I'm dying. Oh, can still draw the memory when I'm dying because the coordinate is going below the screen, so below the last level. That's okay. But I'm wondering why I bounce on the spike. That's also strange. Should not. only if I touch it from the side I die. Okay. Okay, spike drawing is okay. Let's okay, so spike, statuette, dynamite, and dynamite crate. Oh, all right, let's do dynamite first. Map manager already included. Update should do nothing, and the draw should be at the end, I think. Here and here. Okay, xy or x plus frame ID. All right. Draw the spark, if any. Oh, that's the spark. Okay. Y. The y is the same. The x is different. Okay, so let's just add one variable for y on screen. I will copy that from the spike. And then for the x, here and here. All right, let's try the dynamite. If I place a dynamite in another screen. So if I place a dynamite here, works. If I place one here, it works also. Great. So you can see the crate is always drawn on the same coordinate, as you can see, no matter which screen I am, because I didn't fix the crate. I will fix it later. All right. That works. Dynamite is done. Then dynamite crate. Yes, let's do it now. So it's here. And this is Y. And let's do the bullet crate also, because I think it's the same. All right, so let me check if we have some dynamite crate and bullet crate. Okay. That's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 and 5. Let's add 4 and 5 in the manager. I'll remove that one. What's the coordinate? Let's move that in the next screen. 100. No, maybe two. That's 200. 40. Okay, 50, 25 seems okay. Okay, map manager in bullet crate. dynamic crate also. I thought I added dynamic crate. All right, that's a little low. It's inside the wall, but anyway, it works. Let's fix that. This one was a bit too low. All right. And then what do we have? Dynamite crate, bullet crate, arrow, and the arrow launcher. Okay. Let's see the arrow. That's the fire. Okay, and then draw bullet ray. Get ray X and Y. Okay. Y and this one such pixel color. We'll also use X here. Nope. Map manager already included. So I think X and Y for the arrow bullet is also in world coordinate. I think that would make sense. It's an int. Check the header file. This is an item. Yeah. All right. So bullet are also in world coordinates, which means when we draw it, so that this one we should keep it in world coordinate. Hey, wait, and chart sign. Should not. Or if it should, then this is the one we should translate into screen coordinate. X. Yeah, we can make it because that will factorize the call. So okay. Current bullet speed. Get very recast statics. Call it world statics. I'll write it like this. Remove that. Okay, world statics x, if it's mirror, I can do that minus this. All right, and then return it or precise it. Return the start exposition of the bullet in screen coordinate. Okay, and then we should use this one for this one, for the draw, and also for here. Y on screen. I don't need to call it every time in the loop. So here, here, rename. No. Statics. Yeah, on screen. I think I will. I'll keep it an int. Let's change that. Get bullet rate custom x. Okay. Okay, so return this one. So this one will be screen coordinate, screen coordinate, screen coordinate, and Y on screen. All right, then the rest of the code should be okay. This is moving the bullet, but in world coordinate. That makes sense. No, that's not the. Nah. Why we have a draw here? Draw later on, erase bullet, check static collision. I forgot a bit the code of the bullet. The bullet is a bit complicated code, so all right. Let's use this. This is why. Okay, X and Y. All right, should be okay for the bullet. Let's try that. So this one is okay on that screen, but that's normal. let's try to fire on that screen. And it doesn't work. Oh, I have no bullet anymore. Okay. Let's check. This one is used where? Here, here. Not used here. This is a private function. That seems okay to me. X, if it's mirror, minus bullet speed, return, get X on screen, we want start X. Okay, that seems okay. This one, Y, okay. And this one, search for pixel, get pixel, start X, Y on screen. That seems okay to me. So it's probably in the update. This is our function call. Check static collision. This is the function call. X, Y. Ah, we have another draw bitmap here. The sparks. X, Y. All right, try again. Okay, on this screen is okay. Not on this screen, it seems. It's like it's drawing and then being killed immediately. All right, I think I will search that bug later. And then the last item to fix is the arrow launcher. Should be easy, this one, I think. I'm not sure we have something to draw, actually. Yeah. But min, max, shooting. Yeah, we should check in world coordinate, and fire, we fire in world coordinate. So I think there's nothing to do for the arrow launcher. Okay, the arrow launcher only works in world coordinate. There is no draw whatsoever. So yeah, it's already working like that. Okay. Okay, so I think we have gone through all the items. which is good. We don't have items here, right? Sprite data, rig input, custom, HUD. Yep. All right, good. So we will commit this, and then we have two bugs remaining, which is the arrow and the pickup. All right, let's review the change. So for the bullet, yeah, the arrow bullet, that's mostly what we have done here. Change this. And well, we change the signature of the function, the bullet crate here. Dynamite. Okay. Dynamite crate. Okay, just calling the same function. Huh? In the data, we just move items. Okay, map manager, we have moved some items. All right. Pickup. Get X, get Y. Okay. In Rick, this one we should not commit. So I deactivated the spike. All right, spike is okay, and StatVet, it's okay. All right, so add the coordinate conversion for all the items. All right. I need to. Okay. Oops. Sorry. All right. Okay. So let's push that. All right. So, thank you for watching. That's it for today. So yeah, we just have to finish to fix all the remaining issue about firing the bullet in different screen and pickup. Then after we fix that, then that means we made a progress. It seemed that we are going back. We didn't progress so much, but actually we did, because that means now the whole logic works on different screen. So that means we can have a much bigger, much wider level, which is cool. Yeah, so I will try to fix those two bugs outside of the stream. Then I will show you how I fixed them. And then I guess we can start working on the AI, finally. Yeah, and after AI, what should we do? Not sure. Maybe a level editor, or try to make some puzzle, try to see if the gameplay is working. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching, and then see you in the next stream. Bye bye.